Alright, so y'all saw the title and the thumbnail of the video. Basically, I want to talk about the potential Season 2 for Adhawk's game Dispatch. At this point, we all know we're getting a sequel. I mean, that'd be stupid not to. I mean, they made so much money off the first one and critical acclaim. Everyone loves Dispatch, and we all want a Season 2. Now, it's gotten people talking about the potential of a Season 2, but I haven't really seen anyone talk about how the Season 2 is going to work out. And I mainly want to talk about the elephant in the room here, because, as we all know, Dispatch is a choice-based game. You know, the game changes based off the choices you make. Nothing really crazy, right? But, I mean, the end of the game has several different endings, which are vastly different from each other. Now I'm going to be touching on some light spoilers here about the end, so if you don't want some of the end spoiled for you, then click off. I'd much rather you go and play and support Adhawk Studios. Go play that game, Dispatch. It's a wonderful game. I can recommend it anymore. But yeah, I'm going to touch on the end here. So the two main endings is one where Invisigal stays a hero. You know, you help her. You were a good mentor is what the ending's called. And she stays a hero. And then the bad ending is you were a bad mentor and she goes back to being a villain. Now, I'm not Sherlock Holmes, okay? I'm not the smartest guy around, but those are very different from each other. And if we're going to approach a sequel, obviously it has to continue off of where our Season 1 progress left off. So some players are going to have the villain ending, and some players are going to have the heroic ending. Which means Season 2 is there's a very good chance it's pretty different, which I don't think that's going to be the case. Let me tell you how I think it's going to go down. I think Season 2 isn't really going to do much with Invisigal, because the more time they spend on Invisigal, the crazier it gets, the more work they have to put into it, because of the different Invisigals, the villain version and the hero version. So there's going to be a version where she stays around with the Z team. There's going to be a version where she's out about doing villainous things. And that's a lot of work. Not saying Adhawk Studios isn't up to the challenge, but that just gets confusing. It's basically to like where there's almost two different games at that point. So what I think they're going to do is they're going to have a more central story focused around something else. Not focused around Invisigal as the bad guy, as the new Red Ring leader. I feel like she's going to be something else, and I think she's going to be in the background of Season 2. There's going to be a different force that Robert Robertson and the Z team are going to be focused on, and Invisigal is just going to be like a background character. And I think if she's on the hero team still, then, you know, she's going to be more or less like she was in Season 1, just, you know, a little more heroic. And if you got the villain ending, I feel like you're not really going to see much of her at all. But I could see them doing and alluding to her presence in the game by the Dispatch minigame. For instance, let's say you send Punch Up on a mission, right? What if that mission alludes to Invisigal and her team of the Red Ring still being around? You know, I think they could do something like that. And then let's say in like Episode 7 of Season 2, like near the end, we get the reveal Invisigal she's doing her own thing. She's out and about. She's doing her own thing. And Robert Robertson, like, wants to have a conversation with her and, like, face her off again. Maybe as Mecha Man, maybe you can choose to fight her physically as Mecha Man, or to try to settle this, like a good mentor you should have been. You know, I think that's where Season 2 is heading. It doesn't make sense to me to make it like two different storylines. I think it would just have one main storyline and then that like subplot with Invisigal. I think it makes more sense to me. Yeah, that's how I feel like they're going to do Season 2. And I feel like no one's really talking about that in possible ideas for season 2. So I want to throw my hat into the ring, address the elephant in the room, because those endings are vastly different, and it's gonna change how season 2 is for certain players. Oh, and real quick before I go, I just want to say thank y'all for the support on the last video. Yeah, over 200 views for it's not my first video ever, but it's my first video getting back into the swing of things, and I want to do YouTube more, and I want to post videos daily. Obviously, this one is not coming out after the day I uploaded the original video, but if I can get my schedule down, daily videos would be the dream, but I'm going to try to get videos out more frequently than this. Sorry about that, and thank you so much for the support.